I am so excited to get into how we can help our students be less needy during independent work time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So first, let's talk about, well, what is a needy reader or a writer? So we got to come up with our own definition so that when we are going to explain it to our students, we know exactly what we're going to say. We know what independence looks like, what an independent reader or writer looks like, and then what a needy one looks like, okay? So what is your definition? I want you to go ahead and pop it in the comments. What is a needy reader or writer to you? And then I want you to write it as if you were just going to tell another adult, whether it be a grade level team member or your literacy coach or instructional coach in your building or a reading specialist or an ESL teacher or your principal. If you were going to tell another adult what is a needy reader or writer, what would that be? Let us know in the comments. And then number two, once you have your own definition of neediness, how would you put this in kid-friendly language to be able to then share with your students what a needy reader or writer is? Okay, so how would you put that in a kid-friendly language once you come up with your own definition? All right, good morning from Iowa. Woohoo! Okay, here we go. Next thing is, what are independent learners or what are independent readers and writers? Okay, so once you kind of know, okay, this is what I believe a needy reader is or a needy writer is. Now let's talk about, well, what's the opposite of that? What are independent learners? Because this is what you're going to want to model and demonstrate to your students so they understand what it really is. Okay, so here is a definition that I have used over and over again. And it says, when students can read, write, and practice strategies by themselves for a long chunk of time, and when they get stuck, they use strategies to continue working without the help of their teacher. Okay, let me know if you like that definition. Okay, this is how I was just trying to figure out, how would I sum this up in just like one sentence if I had to, what an independent learner is. Okay, now I got to take that definition, because that's probably what I would say to an adult, and how would I change that into student-friendly language to the students that I would be working with, okay? So let me go back to when I taught third grade. This is one definition that I said. I said when third graders are reading, writing, and practicing strategies for 30 minutes without interruptions or distractions, okay? Now, let me break down why I said it this way. I underlined some words in this definition that are important. So the first thing I underlined was third graders, all right? So you want to insert in whatever grade level you teach, whether it's kindergarten, first, sixth grade, whatever that is, you want to insert in that grade level. And the reason why is because the independence and stamina expectations for a kindergartner is totally different than what it looks like in sixth grade. Am I right? Okay. So you want to show your students or tell your students that this is the independence or stamina goal for this year. This is what third graders should do, or this is what kindergartners should do. But then they know that year after year, this definition is going to evolve, it's going to change, it's going to grow. And so they know that this is not forever, but this is what it is this year. Okay, so that's why I insert in the grade level. And then the next thing I underlined was reading, writing, and practicing strategies. And the reason why I underlined that is because I want to convey to students that we can't just sit there, have our book there or our writing piece there and do nothing and count it as I'm being independent. Right? There has to be some productive work going on to qualify as being an independent learner. Okay. So you can state whatever it is that you want them to do that will show you that they're being independent. Now, you also could do more broad definition, like if you teach maybe upper elementary or middle school, instead of saying reading and writing and practicing strategies, you could just say are productive readers and writers. And then you can go into, well, what does being a productive reader and writer look like, feel like, sound like? So they understand what that is. But you definitely can change up the verbiage a little bit. And then the other thing, and I just realized I didn't underline it, but I should have, is the 30 minutes. Okay, pretend that that's underlined. All right, the 30 minutes. And the reason why I inserted in a specific time frame is because I want students to know what the end goal is, how much time is good for that grade level. Like, what are we shooting for? Okay. And this would be the end goal. So I understand that when we first start off, especially at the beginning of the year, it might be 5 minutes that they can work independently. Okay. But the end goal is that eventually we want them to get to that 30 minutes or whatever it is for your grade level, okay? So now in the comments, go ahead and share what your definition of independence is, or how you would teach your students what an independent learner is. I would love to hear it, okay?